Hi there everyone, this is Isaac with ReviewBuzz. Thank you for joining me today. In today's how-to video, we're going to go over how to enter your customer's email into ReviewBuzz. So let's get out of here and jump into a dashboard. As you notice, it says Admin Dashboard across the top. This indicates that this is a CSR or a dispatching software or a dispatching dashboard. Now, once we've collected the customer's name and email, we simply look for this little add button down here. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you'll be able to see these a little better. So we click on the add button and we fill in these fields. Once we've collected their name, their last name, and an email address. You could type it in or copy and paste from an existing CRM. Now the phone number is not required, but you can plug one in here. It'll record it here for you. Now the next piece really depends upon your workflow. If you have a date, you already know when you're going to dispatch, then we simply plug in a date. If you don't have a date just yet, then I recommend that you check mark this box that says do not display appointment date. So we have a date in there right now. Let's say you don't know who the technician is just yet. So my recommendation is, when you don't know who the tech is to not enter a time just yet. We'll leave this at 1 a.m. for now. Okay, so we have a name, an email, and a date, but we don't know a tech, so we'll leave it at 1 a.m. Let me scroll down now to step 2, adding our team members. Now remember, we don't know the tech, so I simply would add myself, and today I am Emma. And then I click continue. And that's it. As far as the role of a CSR, we simply plug in their name, email address, we select ourselves, and we have that date in there. And then we're done. Now let's jump roles into a dispatching role. The dispatcher would also live on the same page when they log in. And they would simply look for the ones that say 1 a.m. That's their indication to go ahead and update this one with a tech and even a date. Maybe the date changed a little. So now I'm a dispatcher. I would look for the customers that have the 1 a.m. and I click on that. Let me scroll up a little. And now I can enter a time window. We'll say 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's a 2-hour window, but you can customize this. Then I go down to step 2. I leave the CSR in here because I want the customer to see who they spoke to. I simply add the tech, and in this case we're sending George. You notice on the right hand side there's a couple radio buttons. This is to indicate who's going to be the primary service provider, or which photo is going to populate first. So that's all it really means right now. So I'll go ahead and select George, and then we click continue. And if we scroll down, you'll notice that Isaac Test has been updated with a date and time window, and it's ready to go. Now let me do one more in here. I'm going to add another customer. This time it's Isaac Test 2. Right? And then I'll plug in an email. Now this time I already know the date and the tech, so I'll go ahead and plug in a date. We'll say again, the 12th. And remember, I already know who the tech is going to be, so it's safe for me to plug in a window if you offer that. Okay, so we'll just say we'll make this one in the afternoon from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Maybe this is a 4-hour window. And then we go down to step 2. We repeat the process. We add ourselves in there again. So we'll just say that I'm Emma. I took this phone call. And I can go ahead and add the tech. And I can do the same thing here. I can select who the primary service provider is going to be for this one. Now I want you to notice that the plus sign is still here. So maybe this is a bigger job and you're sending more than one tech. You could always add more technicians. And then you click continue. Right, so now we have a couple records in there. Now the next question usually is, when do I send out this Meet the Team email? We recommend that you send it out as close to this date and time as possible. If you book this call a week in advance and you send this email now, it'll get buried in your customer's inbox and it loses some value. Not to mention, things could change between now and next week. You could change the tech. You could change the time. So that's why we recommend that you send these emails as close to this date and time. So we'll just say that it's the night before and we're ready to send all of these emails. Now I'm a fan of the batch. I like to batch things. Saves you some time, saves you some clicks. You can send these one at a time by clicking this orange button here that says send to Meet the Team. But again, I'm in favor of batching it. So simply check mark the ones that are ready to go. From the drop down, let me zoom in so you can see that a little better. From the drop down, you would select send the Meet the Team email. And you saw my screen flash. And you'll notice that these 3 jobs have now changed. All I have to do now is wait until I confirm that these jobs were completed. This would be at the end of the day. Usually when a customer or when a technician is done, they'll either phone in, email, or maybe they turn in some paperwork. But all you have to do is complete the job. So you can go down the list and check mark all the ones that were completed and then batch them again. Okay, that's from that little drop down I just showed you. So let me zoom in again so you can see that. I would mark the jobs completed. Now they're all marked completed. If I went down the list, the check marks are still there, but they've all been marked completed. And now I immediately send the feedback request. And that's it. So it's easy to add customers in there. You can customize and use ReviewBuzz in your workflow. Sometimes you don't know who the technician is, and sometimes you do. When you don't know, then it's okay not to add them in there just yet. Just leave the time at 1 a.m. That way you know exactly which ones you have to go back to update. Thank you very much for spending some time with me today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us anytime. You can email us at support@reviewbuzz.com, or you can call us at 760-407-8080 extension 101. Thank you very much and have a great day. Bye now.